One man was worried about what his wife was really doing, and so he said he was going to implant a chip in her shoe. He took his wife's shoe and put a chip in their soles. At that point, the woman asked her husband if he could deliver his shoes to her, and he took the shoes to her. The man then asked his wife where she was going, and she said she needed to meet up with her friend as she wasn't feeling well. He then asked her if she wanted him to go with her, but she said it wasn't necessary as she just needed to talk to her friend and that she would be able to resolve the situation. At that moment, the woman received a call from her lover, and then the man asked if she would answer the call. She said she wouldn't answer as it must just be her friend wanting to talk to her. He then told her that she should answer as her friend might be in need of help, and then the woman said she would take the call. Meanwhile, the woman's lover was wondering why she wasn't answering the call. She then answered the call, and he asked her why she was taking too long to answer, and she said she would be going to her friend soon. The lover then said that he thought she couldn't speak at that time and that he would wait for her. She told him that he didn't need to worry as soon she would be coming to him, and so he said that he urgently needed to stay by her side. She told him he didn't need to worry as he would soon be leaving the house, and so she hung up the phone. The man asked his wife if everything was okay, and she said yes, and that she just needed to go talk to her friend. She said goodbye to him and then said she was leaving. The man then said that he needed to call his company as he needed to settle some matters, and then he said he was leaving. He pretended to leave the house, but he was actually hiding so his wife couldn't find him. The woman didn't realize that her husband was hiding there, so she started putting on her shoes. The man then wondered where she might be going and told her that she must think he was an idiot and that he wouldn't realize it. The woman then called her friend and told her that she needed her help. The friend then asked the woman what was going on, and the woman said that she just needed her friend's help and that if her husband looked for her, she should say that she was with her friend. She said she was preparing a surprise party for her husband and needed her friend's help. The friend said she could help, and then the woman thanked her, saying she knew she could count on her. She then said she knew she could count on her and hung up the phone, but at that point the man went up to her and wondered what was going on. The woman seemed to be very surprised, and then the man apologized, saying that he didn't mean to scare her, but she said that was okay. He then said that he had to go back to his house as he ended up forgetting something under the stairs. The man then said that if his wife wanted he could take her to meet her, as he would be passing by to go to work, but she said it was not necessary. He said he could take her there if she wanted, but she said he could go to work with peace of mind because she would find a way to go to her friend's house. He then said that in that case he would only meet her later and said he was leaving. He then asked her if she was really going to her friend's house, and she said yes. She then asked him if he was suspicious of her, and he said no, and that he was only asking because he knew she would never be able to cheat on him. She then said she needed to leave and then said goodbye to him and left. The man then went after his wife and began following her down the street. He said he knew she was lying to him, so he kept following her. At this point, the woman called her lover and told him that he didn't need to worry as they would soon arrive at the scene, but that she had the strange feeling that someone was following her. She also said that he didn't need to worry, as they would soon arrive at the scene. Meanwhile, the man was saying he knew she was lying to him. Later, the woman had already come close to the place where she was going to meet her lover, and she received a call, which made her very furious. She then answered the call and asked her husband if he had missed her yet. The man then asked his wife if she had arrived safely at her friend's house, and she said yes. He asked her if she had really arrived at her friend's house, and she said yes, but that she had to stop to buy a gift for her friend's mother. He then asked where the hospital was that her friend was at, and she said that it was the hospital near their house and that her husband knew where it was. They then said goodbye and the man said he wouldn't bother his wife anymore and he hung up the phone. She was then on her way to the place where she was going to meet her lover, but stopped first to see what he looked like. Later, she was arriving at the scene and so she called her lover and asked where he was as she had already arrived. She then said that she had already spotted her lover and said that she would be going to meet him. The man then wondered who his wife was going to meet, but when he went to look at his phone, it had stopped working. He then resolved the situation in another way and went after his wife. Meanwhile, the woman was going to her lover and then he said that he had thought that she would no longer meet him. She then said that she ended up taking her time because her husband was getting in the way of her meeting her lover. She said he kept asking a lot of questions, like where she was going and who she was going to meet. He then said that he was very much in love with the woman and that she knew it, but that he could not stay by her side. She then said that she was also very much in love with him, but that he was married and that she wanted that to change. He then said that he couldn't break up with his wife and that they should only continue as a lover as they had already talked about it. She then asked the other man what he had told his wife and he said he had told his wife that he was in a meeting. She then said that she liked this lying side of him very much. She then said that they should leave, but the other man said that they needn't worry as no one was following the woman and that everything was fine. The woman then said that she knew her husband would never have the courage to go to where she was and that he was an idiot. The lover then told her that she needed to wait for him there as he was going to buy something for them to eat and then she told him to hurry up as she missed him so much. When he left, she was very excited, saying that this day was going to be a lot of fun. Meanwhile, the man was desperate as he couldn't get his GPS to work. He said the salespeople had said it would work, but now it wasn't working. The woman then received a call from her friend and asked what had happened and the friend said she was not seeing her husband. She said she searched but still couldn't find him. The woman said that her friend didn't have to worry about that because her husband was just supposed to be in a meeting and turned off his phone. The friend said that she was not very happy with the situation and then the woman said that she did not need to worry because soon her friend's husband would be coming home. She told her friend that she didn't have to worry about it because she knew that her friend's husband was in love with her and that he would do anything to stay by her side. The friend said she would wait a little longer for her husband and then hung up the phone. When the friend hung up the phone, the woman said that she was actually very stupid and that she didn't know what was really going on. At this moment, the man and the lover end up bumping into each other, which makes them very surprised. The man asked what the other man was doing there and then the other man said he was just strolling through that park. He said he was surprised to see the man there, but the man said he knew his friend didn't like parks and that he was surprised to see that he was there in that park. The other man then said that he was trying to change his habits and that he ended up going to that park to meet up with a friend of his. He then said he needed to leave, but the man asked him how his wife was doing. The other man seemed to be confused by this and then the man said that earlier his wife had said that the other man's wife was not very well. The other man then said that he knew what the man was talking about and that everything was fine with his wife, but that he needed to leave as he was running late. The man then said that he hoped to meet his friend again another day and then the other man left. When he left, the man said that the other man was acting strangely and that he was finding it very different. He said that his wife was also acting strange and that he would find out what was going on. The other man then went to the woman and said that he had met the man in that square and that they needed to leave. The man went after the other man, saw what was happening, and told him he wasn't going to let it end like this. The other man then said that they needed to get out of there before anything went wrong. At that point, the man called a person and told them they needed to hurry. Later, he and his friend went to the two of them and the friend said that she was very sad about what the other man had done. The man then asked his wife if she hadn't gone to the hospital to be with her friend, but the woman said the man was following her. He then told her that she needed to pay more attention to things as she didn't realize that she was wearing a GPS in her shoes. She seemed to be very confused by this, and then the man showed her what he had hidden in her shoe. He said that with that he was able to find out exactly the location of his wife. The friend then said that she was very disappointed in them, and then the other man said that he could explain everything that had happened to his wife. She then said that she didn't want to hear what they had to say as she was very disappointed in them. She then told her husband that she was very disappointed in him and that she never wanted to be by his side again. The man then told his wife that he was very impressed with her creativity, as she had told him that her friend's mother was in the hospital. He then said that he didn't know what else he could expect from her as she had never really loved him, that now he wanted to be away from her. He then asked her what she had really thought about their relationship and said that he didn't believe she had caused him to lose a great friendship he had had for years. She then told him that he didn't need to worry about it because she could explain to him what had really happened and that she was not to blame for it. She said that the relationship meant nothing to her and that it had all been the other man's fault. The other man then said that the woman was lying and that she was the one who always went after him and that he never went after her. He said she was a liar as she had told him she loved him while they were in his bed. The friend said that she couldn't believe they had done that in her bed and that she was very disgusted by that situation, and so she leaves. The man then said that he really wanted to believe that his wife wasn't doing that to him, but that now that he found out that it was really happening, he couldn't stand by her side. When he left, the woman asked him to stay so they could talk, but he didn't. She then said that she would now need to go to the other man's house, but he said he had nowhere else to go. She said that now they would have to have a relationship, but he said he didn't love her, so he left.